Now, lastly, we're going to do our spikes. I sort of tend to try and coordinate the inner color of the boutique bow that I'm using as the spikes that I want to show at the top of the bow. So I do those two first, which would be pink in this case. And I just make a very tight X like that. Then I take the next two, which are going to be the alternating color, and I place those over top, sort of using the middle of each spike as a guide, because I want the edge of this purple spike to hit the middle of the pink spike, and that's just sort of how it ends up working out for me with this amount of spikes. And this is 9. Well, yeah, it's 9 spikes, but it ends up being 10 pieces of ribbon. Same thing, just go on and keep layering these. And these are 5 inches, again, just in case you didn't catch that in the beginning. And then this 1.5 inch piece is going to be my center spike, but I'm also going to overlay this other pink piece on top. I just like the way that this looks. I think it kind of fills out the spikes the way that I prefer them to look. Of course, you could do more. Instead of just 9, you could do 10 or 12 or 11 or however many spikes you wanted to do. And then what I do, a lot of people use a salon clip. I find that harder for me, so I just put my finger right in the center and push down, and then I kind of lift them all up like that. And the other thing that I like the 1.5 inch piece of ribbon for is kind of as a guide to sew, because I sew my crease into these also. So I, again, stick my needle straight down the center, kind of using the 7/8 inch, the bottom of it, as the guide. And then again, about 3/8 of an inch above that, come right back up, pull that all the way through, go back down, oops, and then one more time, back up. And then I pull these so that I get a good crease there and wrap it around. Now these I kind of have to fudge with just to make sure that the spikes don't get all wonky and nothing gets tucked underneath anything else that it's not supposed to, but I typically wrap these around 2 or 3 times just because I want it to hold while I kind of yank everything back out to where I want it to be. And I'll place it on the table like this and just make sure. And I lost one here, it got tucked under, so I got to pull that back out. And that's kind of why I do that, just to make sure. Sometimes I get one stuck under there, and if I had tied it off already, it probably would have been a lot more difficult to pull it out. Then they don't have to be perfect, because I'm going to work with them a little bit more, and I tie them right off in the top here, which isn't going to show, so it's not